on. Mars versus Venus with Nikki, Jaiga, and Rode.
This is where we fight!
The battle is on. Mars versus Venus. Jaiga, Nikki, Team 96.
So, good morning to the beautiful ladies. Oh, the ladies that love to get up in the morning and make breakfast for the man.
What?
What? I talking to ladies.
You don't sound a liar.
You know, and you
sound a liar
rub
already,
that
right?
night man back when he come home from work after a hard day. And you just satisfy your man. We say good morning to our beautiful gladiators. Woohoo! And then we say good morning to the Spartans, the men that, as that lady come back home, he cooked for her. He has a warm bath waiting for her. He has some candles lit. Oh, know how to treat a woman. Morning to the Spartans. All right. Jaiga's in the house. Good morning, Jaigi.
Yo, what up? What up?
Yeah, Jaigi's in the house. And we welcome you. So we know we due to the rain, a lot of static. They're working on it. And the app is down right now. But later, guys, Elmo's going to hook us up. Yeah. So check out our YouTube channel in case you missed anything. All right. So, Jikes, I know this and Rody, you guys can relate, you know, in terms of this week's topic. I can't, but I think it was, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an interesting topic. All right. So, let me hear it.
Yeah, all you up?
Yep, we are.
We're running.
All right. We're talking today about support. Children support.
Children support. And when you mean support?
And when we mean support, we mean financial support.
Ooh. Financial support.
Financial support for children, for minors. You know, over the years, it's been understood that every time there's a split or anything like that, normally the percentile rate is always higher when it comes to a man having to maintain or pay that support. But today we're asking, should a woman pay child support?
Should the woman throw out her dust? Now, is this under the premise that that normally when a couple separates, the mother normally gets that custody, you know?
Yeah, majority of the
right?
time.
She majority of the time. So in the court's eyes, it is obviously the man is obligated to put financially because she taking care of the most all the necessities now.
I think we should talk about child support
On the whole?
on the whole, not just from the woman's point of view, from the man's point of view too. Because, you know, child support, many times people is tied into you want to go and do your hair and etc. So let's talk child support.
What?
Yeah, some people be
What
accused.
does have to do with you doing your hair?
Yeah, well, no, it have people who be accused people of that, right? And then there are people who will take child support and go and do the hair, Rudy. Let's not pretend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, or go and bet it on a horse somewhere or wherever. So I think we should cover it from umbrella of child support in relationships.
But
right?
there are times that that even though the child is under the mother's custody, she spends majority of her time with her father.
Right.
And the father still has to pay child support.
Right. So I think child support. Also, what about, it gets technical too, because, you know, we're always talking about the non-traditional family life. And so, you know, some people say you're in a relationship, you had a child with a certain person before, and so there's a child that exists. So many times it gets technical. Who should be dropping child money? You don't want nothing from this one. It's get technical. Child support is get technical. I'm not dropping no money if that man there. I think it's just broader than women.
Yes, you see, I know Nikki had no jump out of there. I think that is a big misconception. Personally, I believe that men don't operate in that brain space.
I was just using examples, I
know, but
women do it too.
That particular example I used, that particular example I used about I'm not dropping no money because that man there, that's in a minority. I honestly believe that's in a
I
minority.
disagree with you. I think egos are
Nah.
involved with fathers, and
Egos are-
you
egos
taking
are-
care of my child, right? And so egos get involved when two men involved with children, Jai. So you could say that
Yes,
that's in the minority.
That is in the minority. You don't hear men saying they're not dropping no money for my child because they're manly.
They
That is not how
wouldn't. They
men
mightn't
function.
say it.
He could mostly say, I will come tomorrow. If he have to, he might say something like that. I will
A
go-
man is
go past tomorrow.
Nikki are telling you, how men function. Men function as space of the ego comes in where they're not gonna drop it at all. They're gonna be blatantly out the child life, but they're never going to say they're not gonna support the child because that man did. That is not how that is work. Women operate in the space of I don't want this woman wrong my child. That is an emotional
Well, she
attachment
come and she
that-
here.
Yeah,
put your
that is
hand
an
in my
emotional
child
thing
here.
that normally women express themselves that
put
way.
them ugly
when it
bubble
comes
in
to
the-
that.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, the bubble that the woman put always ugly. She can't
Ugly
clap. What
bubble.
she been the pattern them in straight and she hand in good. My child here in green because she put she hand in them kind of things.
Child
earlier.
and grin.
The child here ain't green.
Yeah.
The child here ain't green at all. What
The bad
your woman put
vibes.
child- Your woman put she bad and
Yeah,
she
hand
your woman put
heavy.
child in my she had heavy.
Yeah.
They thought she to stand them head. And all that sort of stuff.
What kind of grease you using?
Wow.
Right? But to say what men normally do is if a man is struggling with ego in terms of how the relationship ended and he still has ties emotionally to the child, he would do other things. And normally what they do is stupid things, obviously. He will blatantly not function. He wouldn't say things like, I ain't dropping no money because that man day, he just won't drop money at all.
Just won't
And-
drop money. He ain't seen it.
his insecurities will lead him to do stupid things like avoid the child totally. Try and do dumb things now. That's dumb thing.
All
But
right.
to say that he operates in that space, men don't operate in that mental space and say things like, I mean dropping no money because he did. Nah, man ain't doing that.
Oh, all right. if you
Man
say
ain't
so,
doing that.
Jaiga, in your little world. Okay.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, man ain't doing that.
We have to pick up for the men, you know, Nikki.
Yes, of course.
It's not a matter of picking up for men. It's just think about it. We know men are driven by ego, but ego don't drive it. Say them kind of thing. I ain't dropping no money because he man did.
Let your man take care of
Let me
he.
just be devil's advocate.
hello,
I
okay.
mean, I have bounced up
You
virgins
bounced up?
before that.
Uh-huh.
Blatantly send voice note and say I'm not dropping nothing.
Thank you.
Nah, I've been
Well,
there, but
that's
that is bare ignorance though.
Yeah, what
bare
they say.
ignorance.
But you hear what you know say, I ain't dropping nothing. That is
Yeah.
what I say. We'll go that route. They will say things like you ain't getting nothing and they will say dumb
But
things.
that's
like
what I
because-
just said, Jaiga.
Nah, you say I ain't dropping nothing because the man did.
But that is why he not dropping nothing.
That is different. That is different.
That is why he not dropping nothing, because yeah, let your man take care of that.
What? What?
Yeah. Okay, the mother of my child and I are separated. We have a good understanding. Who needs to take care of what? And if one comes up short, the other would cover. People want to do big people things, aka sex, but fail to do big people thing and take care of the child. Yep.
Of
Yep.
course. Again, that's a level of maturity.
That-
In the
that's
perfect
how
world-
it should
in the
be.
Perfect world, two people people separate. You have to decide, well, okay, who's taking care of what, and it's handled that way. But you have to remember, you see, we say it all the time, Nikki. You bring it to the forefront all the time. Unlearn. We have to unlearn the teachings of our ancestors. It's been taught to that the only way to win a emotional fight against a /CM or CF is to use the child as pawn. Because most of the time we see it happening over and over and over again. Women operate in a space of, okay, vindictiveness kicks in. The only way I can be vindictive is by using the child as a pawn to try and hurt the man in some way. And for years we've been saying, you do not hurt the man, all you do is hurt the child. And vice versa. We
Vice
tell it to
versa.
men, we tell it to women all the time. So we have to now continuously sing that song and wave that flag of, hey, stop the nonsense, Nadred. Let us face the facts. It all boils down to the child. Especially, already said it just now, there are many instances where a man functions at 150% for his children, meaning he takes care of everything, both financially, emotionally. He's there for the children, and a woman uses the notion of child support as some kind of belittlement tool The engagement looking for the child when at the same time the child not hungry. Child never asks for anything. The child never wants for anything.
What? I don't understand your point though. Child support is child support, whether the child eaten or not. And I think that's the kind of mentality we had, which we have to unlearn. Well, the child eating? No.
No.
When
I'm
a
not
man,
talking about the child.
when
Hold
you're...
on. I'm not talking about the child. Nicole, I'm
Yes?
talking about the child is physically with the man.
Hey.
You listen to what I'm saying? If a man is with his children, like
Also,
physically with them, physically with them,
Right.
does everything, and meaning that they eating, they function, they're not in need for anything.
Oh, you
and
flipped it, right.
And you're hearing a woman at the next end saying, you ain't giving me none for the child. I ain't giving you none for the child. Where is the child?
That is like Tommy and Sons.
Don't
Like
call her names,
Tommy
please.
face that, everybody know. I like Tommy and Sons when, Tommy children is mostly in his care.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he had the whole video leak.
Oh, yeah, can we?
You know?
You don't do nothing for the child.
Right.
Child always hungry.
But that leak came up the other day. Again, that video was like,
But
you
it
know.
has certain men
But-
who's real take care of the children. Eh?
But not only that, it does such damage for the
You
children.
gotta study the children more than anything.
Yeah. You have to study the children, and kudos to the men that step up, right? We always talk about it. So many men don't step up because so many people live that life of not having their father around, or not having any kind of, at least seeing him once a month, nothing, just disappear off the face of it. But he living down the road, So real kudos to those that do, and we always talk. It's not just money.
Correct.
We talk about that child support,
As I say.
like as a financial thing only, but it is both
I have a story
more
with,
to that.
with one of my close brethren.
support.
Close brethren love his daughter all. The mom took her, fly out, never say nothing.
Wow, how is that
He
even allowed?
his message on Facebook to try and get on to the daughter, to talk to the daughter, and the mother just choking herself and say, what, if you're not sending no money, you cannot speak to her. You can't have no kind of conversation, no kind of contact with her at all unless I see some dust in that bank account.
Them toxic situations happens all the time.
Yeah, like how you say
And-
that.
and
It's toxic situations. It's
toxic
hurt,
situations
it's everything
happen
mixed up in that.
all the time. And that is why I will say though, Nikki, and this is something that's been recent, I will say that used to be a phenomenon, a habit of yesteryear. It's now fixed.
What?
You cannot, where a woman could have gone a long time and get a with people for a child and bust out.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
do that where
yeah, we can't.
The
You
court
must
stop
get the
that.
consent of the child, of the
You
father.
have to, both parents have to go to the interview for the passport. It's no longer where you could just go long time, Nikki. That's what it used to be. A woman just go, your passport for share the child and the bus out the door. So Trinidad and Tobago, I know for a fact, and I'm talking out of this, the air, both parents. So listen.
So if
trust
you
me,
don't
the
know where
real-
daddy is,
your
what
child
goes
gets no
on?
passport. Child gets no passport unless you can prove a death certificate. I'm telling you, because it's the most interesting thing. I was use the word interesting when all parties, all CMs, all CFs have to come together.
This is
And
my
go
point.
into the passport office.
I'm
Have
not
to
going
go
to
to the
say
passport
that.
office and have that nice interview with that lady in the white shirt. It's so nice.
It's even
It's
worse.
the greatest thing.
When you do that one, when you do that.
March November 2019.
So
Everybody had to sit down.
I had to write all because
even that gets so toxic. You know why?
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine is she's American, and so the daughter has an American passport and wants to take the daughter to the US, but the father, a little spiteful, refused to sign the forms.
yeah.
So she can't go nowhere, and it's true. You
I
have to get
remember
both.
writing a letter though. Got a letter, like an authorization letter.
Nah.
Went,
When you do that,
she went Canada 2 years ago or so, and I didn't go to no interview.
Well, no, she would have
No.
had a passport already.
she had the passport already.
That would have. He said it's
Nah, we
for
talk
to
about
get a
getting the
passport.
passport, bro.
Or just the passport, not the
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the
Nothing go for the visa. No.
Okay.
The visa, you will have to send a copy of your ID, the consent letter. I'm talking about actually
Alright,
getting the
alright.
passport.
Yeah, that was the visa.
The first hurdle.
Right.
The visa thing is after. The passport is the first hurdle. So they slow it down at the first hurdle because remember the Trinidad government don't issue a visa.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's get a
Yeah,
voice
yeah.
note out.
Good morning. I more believe a man will say, I ain't getting you no money to go and do your hair. I ain't getting you no money to do what you gotta do as a woman. But I don't believe he will say he not giving his child any money because a man there. A man quicker say, I ain't giving you no money as a woman because you have a man. You
Correct is
understand?
right.
But I just have an opinion. Right?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Daddy, what going on with you?
Boy,
Mosquito.
What?
Is that right? Daddy, what going on
Hi,
with
good
you?
morning. I would have had an appointment earlier this year with my son who already has a passport, and the father had to also attend the meeting even though he supplied all the necessary requirements. He was also required to attend the meeting to renew the Trinidad passport.
Yeah, once it's a passport
yeah, once his
renewal or
passport.
first time.
Yeah, I was here
Renewal
for
or
the
first
So the
time, both
Trinidad
parents
and
have to be there.
Tobago Passport Office are bringing couples closer together.
Nah, I know what to do that
Because
all.
when we was
Not really
waiting, I
at
was
all.
quite on the next side.
Nah, they
No,
bringing them closer at all.
it is causing you that every 5 years you have to go and have interaction with your child father because at the Trinidad and Tobago Passport Office.
That is correct.
When you
That is
get
correct.
called to the counter, it does really be close, you know.
Oh,
But
there's that time
It's
I'm
when
ready again at the call, Marlon.
No, I know it's here. No, it don't go so Nikki. You just hear. Just tell the father the woman ready.
Oh, the child can talk right now.
yeah, father
Just tell the
outside.
father the woman ready.
So it don't be. No,
She come running outside the office. Daddy, they're ready for us.
wow.
Yeah.
It's the
And you
child.
outside pulling a cigarette. I come in.
Where
Oh, yeah.
Blessing, good morning. What I had to say is that my brother, right, used to be, taking care of each child and thing and dropping her money plus a little food and thing. And the mother find she wasn't getting enough, so she put him in court. And since she come and put him in court, the money she getting in court is less than what he used to give, what he giving she every month.
Yeah, you just get less. You just get less.
Yeah, that happens as well.
You just get less money, yeah.
But some people really have to go to court to get money for their children.
Everybody, morning.
Cook.
This is a topic I could really be a study on because currently, right now, I'm going through that. I left my home and I see my children straight up. Financial support, mental, physical. We spend time together. I've done everything that a real father supposed to do when I was still home. I'm not there no more. I'm still doing it. Recently, I say, okay, books come. Tell your mommy, here what I'll do. I'll buy everything. The shoes, all the books, everything. All she has to do is purchase the shirt and the pants if school chooses to reopen. Alright, moving with small man. Teaching them responsibility. Hey, take the credit card, you swipe. Punch in the pin, punch in the amount. Right. We went in Port of Spain. First set of his books came up to, I think was $1,300 and something. Alright. We get the next half of the books in Arima. Came up to 21 something. He said, Daddy, but look at money you're spending in the books. I said, yeah, but we still didn't get these toothbrush and this oil paint. I said, tell your mother to purchase that. Right? Because I ain't getting time and I keep running away from work. Only to get a phone call saying that his mommy told him she not buying nothing. Now we're talking about two paintbrush and an oil color. And ever so often you're sending messages saying, tell your father this, tell your father that. So Nikki, it's one thing to say how fathers do this, but it's the woman and the pettiness and the unnecessary squabble that causes these things. Women just petty. That's just my whole.
And I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really listen to me, that is one of the things, my pet peeve. Women who do that, not thinking about what the men really put into this. So I have
but the thing about it is that I used to blame them a long time, Nikki, but I don't anymore.
Blame who?
That whole women.
Right.
I used to say that same thing, but I don't anymore because you have to understand, it's a teaching that's been there, it's embedded. It's like the undertone of West Indian women for so many years, brother. It's an undertone, and really and truly, the grandparents had to take the L on this one, Nikki, because that is what they perpetuate. They continuously, over years, encourage that nonsense by young ladies because they sit there as elders, as women, and encourage the toxic tone of that conversation. What that man talk about there is that
a reality of many men.
Is in the 85% rate
and that's
of
why,
most men.
That's why a lot of men, sometimes men just have to take it on their own accord and just go to court. Plenty times men just take the woman to court, Just to say, something.
Just level the playing field.
Let me just have a standard fee that I giving you every month and just squash all of this.
Let the courts deal with it.
Because
and
a
then
lot
what
of times
happens to that? And
men just
again,
want to have, okay, let me do this thing half. That's how it start off.
Right.
Let's be mutual. We seen about the child, 50-50. And then it's always end up in a, nah, I mean doing that. Or if I'm doing it this way, I'm not contributing to that way.
And you know why it's time to unlearn? Because small man
learning and learning all of that.
Small man went through the process.
Paintbrush, boy.
He see how much daddy spend. He watching mommy now and seeing how toxic mommy is and how vexed mommy is. So he already now.
And mommy really vexed because daddy could spend that $1,300.
Yeah. But women, we had to be fair. You know how I feel about women who use children as pawns to get things from the man. They lend, see, because he have a new woman, they lend. No, we have to stop that because it passes down to the next generation.
Mommy, you know daddy let me swipe the credit card. Yeah. It's a very money on a credit card, but it's for you to buy the paintbrush.
Exactly. Yes.
Telephone, I don't buy no paintbrush.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a learning lesson for all of us. Thanks for sharing. More. Sorry.
And
thanks for sharing.
And on the flip side, you will have, in all fairness, there are women who will then counteract that man's story, give stories of their own. I don't want nobody here this morning believing that I'm coming down on women. There are men who are total trash.
Of course.
And we know that.
Of course.
From get-go, they are total trash. All I'm saying is that women need to sometimes, we know emotion trumps logic. We know that.
And I think that's what happens many times, the emotion. Because if you really look at it from a logistical point of view, it makes sense for you to pick up the paintbrush and thing, especially if you know the man working and can't run away and do it. How hard it is for a woman to say, okay, no problem, I'll get it. How hard was that?
That is why I say all the time we have to start practicing being comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. And that is what we do. And men have to blame themselves too. Sometimes a man know that men natural instinct, Nikki, is to avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
So they will do things which will then trigger a woman. Because you break things from speaking about it and putting it to the forefront, it triggers the woman and it ends up into confusion and small talk.
What about the next side of that is when a man has moved on and he has his spouse now, and
then
you
that
have to deal with both sides now. He's like, you lend, she do you that?
Exactly.
So use a bubbly then.
Yeah. I ain't doing that with my child. It all
right.
adds and it talks.
Again, Rudy, when you say that, look, there's a next
You got a real stand your ground, boy.
But there's a next instance of toxic behavior.
So just keeps going.
If you have a woman, and that is your woman's response when you are trying to make an effort to have a relationship with your child, and because of the tone of your child's mother, your current person now bringing that kind of energy to you, but that's how he's talking, and not trying to be
overall.
Exactly.
That's how being unsupportive in a way.
Exactly. Definitely. Get back on. What Jaiga laughing at? Hey, Jaiga.
That sound like Delta. That's not it. That's not like Delta Shane. So what's that?
But
That's all I need to
you
straight,
can't go up again, you know.
You can't do nothing. Watch me, I tell you, Nikki, the worst situation if you walk in a pro-vaccinated, we against the virus room. We're talking about your bossa room where everybody masked down. It had that mist, you know, they had this mist bottle that people have, the mist in the air that you walk in.
We have that.
They're handing you hand sanitizer. And as soon as you do all of that, and you sit down, you get a dry cough, you start to want to come. Boy, I go on a meeting the other day and get one of that. I prayed, I asked him, God, please, Lord, what's the cough? The waiter made me to talk, and I can't my mouth because I want to cough, but I'm crying. I'm holding that cough inside. Oh, God, cough, no cough. If you only go, that's the day, you know.
Exactly.
That's the day.
All right, guys.
You got it.
We are wrapping up our topic today. You know, we've been talking about child support in relationships and, you know, the give and take of both sides. And let's get some voice notes out because it's an emotional topic. It's an emotional topic. Kirk also responding.
My little anger, my frustration, you have me laughing, yes. All your boy, hey, you gotta be strong, Nice small thing, man. I love my children all, I love them with all my heart, so nice small thing. She can't win. We all love. Everybody enjoy the day.
Blessings, my brother.
You know, they have a saying that the children get big.
Yeah.
Children get big and it makes sense of the crap that was going on between.
On both sides, eh?
On
They
both
make sense on the
sides.
crap on both sides.
They
They call out both mother and father.
They remember. You know, so you act the fool.
Some of them just get big and shop with but
Morning, Nikki, Jaiga, Ro. Jaiga, I love all the topic this morning, but it had real father and it had dogs and sperm donors. And a woman should never have to go to court with a man to mind his own child. That is total nonsense. It's a woman who will go, I don't have time for that. I just say God go deal with you, and when God deal with you, he just really deal with you. And two, Jaiga, a man only have to go and sign for a child passport if his name is on the birth paper. Once his name is not on the birth paper, you do not need consent from him to get the child's passport. Would you?
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
Just learn that. Yeah.
Speaking from a place of a father.
Yeah. We're talking father. When your name not on it,
I cannot help you.
Yeah. We can't help you. We can't help you. You have to literally go and do a DNA test to prove that is your child and have your own documents. You'd be surprised. A lot of parents don't understand the principles of maintenance. It's not that you get the money to pay for the child, but it's sharing the obligation to maintain the child. What the parents pay for is half the cost of maintenance. So it's also an obligation on the other parent who receives maintenance on behalf of the child. So it's supposed to be 50-50, not exact sense, but you doing and I doing.
Correct.
Nah, but that's not how, again, that's what I say about unlearning. It's never, when you see how you just read that there, it's never understood that way. It's never understood that way. A lot of people think it's you giving the money because they say you have to give it.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, it's whatever the guardian on the other side chooses to do with the money, that's their responsibility. Never look at it as, okay, it is half of the responsibilities for the child.
It's half.
It's not.
Nikki, Jaiga, Rudy. Well, I feel like you're one of the good ones because my own never take me to court. She never take me to court. She was my child. We went half and half, and that was nice with her.
That's always good when it could come to that mutual agreement, you know.
Nice. Nice.
But she knows she'll get less if she take it also.
Nikki, what is disgusting is when you have parents who have to come to a police station to hand over the child to each other because they can't be adults and act like adults. The child knows and sees that. Them social never had children. Yes, due to all the weather, we've been having some problems. So they're going to get it all sorted out today. I have a female friend who pays child maintenance. Morning, right. Sunny Wayne. Did I play Vanice?
Good morning, Ocha Wildays. Vani's locked in here. Jaiga, it's good to hear you this morning. Anyway, It have ladies that do pay child support. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or judge or whatever the case. I know anybody's situation, but I do know it have a few women that pays child support, and they willingly do it. They pay it regularly. They don't miss a beat, and they pay the money. They don't do like the men. You have to run them down, take out warrant and all kind of thing. You know, you ain't have to do that. They is mind the picnic them.
So, Vanice, I hear you, and kudos to all those ladies. But they have some ladies, and I'm sure you all will agree with me. It's almost like I have made the golden child.
Mm-hmm.
I did my part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You now got to do the rest. I
Them
did my part.
Them had the trump card. Them had the trump.
Yeah, but there's a big story right now currently with this Brianna Rudy or Brittany, whatever her name is, who have the child for the ball player, the youth man basketballer. She started dating him when he was 8. She started dating him when he was 18, right when it was legal, and she finessed him for some years until she could get married. As soon as she make the child, bam, court shit, getting $200,000 a month. She publicly said that's the move. She's basically telling
she got
you
what she wanted.
All you stupid while you frustrating all yourself and living when these ball players dotish.
Yeah.
So there's
She
some women
lady baited him. She baited, and she pulled him in slowly.
Yeah, she rooped him until she get the child.
It's premeditated, no, right?
What?
I know, but she got. But there are people who operate in that headspace, Nicole, where they tell themselves,
especially
okay,
when money, children. Money is a bigger sin.
And it's not all the time that a woman is dragging a man to court. There are plenty instances where men take it upon themselves and go to court. Look, there are a lot of instances in the US where men have to go to court because the child is not their own. And there was an instance where a man was minding a child for almost 18 years. He minded that child. And he still had to pay.
Yeah.
He went to court, he found out the child wasn't his own, he still had to pay it.
How the laws is in the US, it's funny. He still had to pay.
Yeah, because he
took responsibility.
Yeah, they proved that.
But he took responsibility.
Yeah, he took full responsibility for the child. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yo.
Good morning.
Morning, Nikki. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Nikki, I don't want to stray from this topic, but it's a kind of complicated things I want to tell you all about continuing this topic that you all have. Right? To start with, once a man with a woman and he breed and he makes a child, that is his responsibility. And as a man, I don't think it's right that a woman has to carry a man to court to mind his own child, because that is your own. Right? Okay. Secondly, I knew this young lady a couple of years ago. She's my wife. Right? She got a child with a guy. Right? She wanted to bring him up in court. I tell her, you won't bring up the man. Because at the end of the day, children don't remain small. You understand? They grow into big men. You understand what I'm saying? You hear me? Hello?
Yes, brother, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. But anyway, I mind this child from 3 months until the age of 18 years. The father never paid no mind to this child. He never gave the child nothing. He never wanted to know the child. You understand? And I stand up as a man and I mind this child from 3 months. Give him everything. Give him the best he could think about. Send him to school him. The best clothes and anything he could think about this child out. Right? And recently, this father reached out to this child at the age of 18 years. You understand? 18 years you reach out to your son. I mind him as my own. Right? You reach out to this boy, tell me and the boy, me and his son, that I mind, excuse me, I got a little this morning. But you know this, me and this little boy fall out because I'm trying to manage him up and grow him to be the man that I want him to be and correcting him. You know, he called his father. You know, his father had his how to say it, I don't want to use the wrong word. You understand? You know, the father has this mind to come straight and pick up this child. Or even come straight home and me and ask me, hey, what happened with you and my son, or whatever, and go on with this youth, man. Can you tell me what kind of father is that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
So the end of the day, you understand?
I could weigh in first.
Yeah, wait. Let him go now. Thanks for
All right,
sharing.
brother, thanks so much, man.
All right. Yeah, Jaiga.
Yeah, go through.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand a couple things in that scenario. That is something that we've heard those stories many times before. That child, whatever is he falling out, will be operating in a place of adolescence right now, because you remember the father who is absent will be operating not from a responsible mindset, but from one of trying to appease this boy's discomfort from over the years. So he will be wherever that little boy say, yeah, that's the thing. And it shows lack of maturity on the biological father part. Because if the biological father is fair with self, he will know and he will have a conversation with the stepdad and say, listen, what is the situation? And respect the stepdad's wishes, because this is the man who has nurtured this child from 3 months to 18 years.
Yes, you had to respect that.
Both of them supposed to have not a divided, but a united front for the 18-year-old boy to say, bro, listen to what Mr. John, aka your stepfather, is telling you, because this is the man who lives with you for all the years. Once the biological father is operating in a space of come with me and again, toxic nonsense. He's an imps. He's an imps. And now that is where the mother needs to come in and use her maternal, and basically she has to come and superwoman the situation and let that youth man understand, hey, and that father, although yes, he's 18 now, the boys have a right, but in terms of understanding, even at 18, it's a borderline age. Legally, you're an adult, but we all know a young man at 18 doesn't think like an adult.
So also to add to Jaiga's point, to the stepfather, gotta trust too that at 18 years, that I'm sure you have instilled something in that young man, that eventually he would come to his senses and know that, hey boy,
and say
something little off here. And I ain't going on the right path that he ain't really showing me, So you gotta trust that as well.
Because you know what I thought about quickly in that situation is like if you found out you were adopted, even at 18, even though your parents, your adoptive parents took care of you, etc. Sometimes there's always that need still to find out your real mommy or daddy.
Correct, is right. And nothing can stop you.
Right, nothing can stop you. So it's a I know how you're feeling. You almost feel like your child choose an ex-father over you.
Correct.
But you had to let him go through his breathing, his growing spaces. In terms of his growing pains, in terms of accepting the father who outside versus you who always brought him up.
It's an internal thing that as a parent you will understand, Child as a child, and you have not been around your biological father or your mom, you will want to know.
Hey, good morning. So my child father was in that percentile, good? Because me and you can't work out, good? You ain't go see about the child. And then when I finally said, you know what, I'm fed up with this stupid, and I took him to court, good? It was an issue with the whole family. Oh, I was wrong and I shouldn't have, and he would have mind his child. But the child is growing up, needing pampers, needing milk, needing love and support. And you're only looking for bacchanal, good? Who man I have home by me? Wait, let me not even reminisce on that.
Thanks for sharing, baby. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Like
you had a whole lot to cuss, boy.
I really had a good boy.
You.
Yeah, had a good boy.
Every time I pass, I see in that grave, and the woman is that.
That is that.
The good boy. That is it.
That is it.
All right. So, guys, again, we apologize because many of our U.S. peeps can't hear. So,
is not the one who say if you should get him on a towel?
Yes.
Bring that day.
Happy birthday to Show and Ali from Princess Town. You have a great day from Grace.
Rudy, we spoke about that. You can't bring that into the That's the
you just have to pour them little things in for the people who have not joined the spaces.
Exactly. They need to know what they're missing. A little something.
Yeah.
This is where it's at, bro.
It's where it's at, man. Come on.
This is where it's at.
You ain't clicked that link yet? Come on. Come on.
All right, guys, we need to wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Short, and we thank Elmo again for doing a little something for us.
We need to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, due to the conversation. You
Right.
know, that applies to the conversation as well.
Wrap it up.
About children.
If you want to do big people thing,
wrap it up.
You gotta.
If you know you ain't ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me close by saying,
Uh-huh.
do not mistake love and that, women, what they call it, the ovaries are tingling when they see the sights of little babies and stuff. Don't let that tingle.
Yes, we tingle.
Don't mistake that tingle.
You admitting
right?
to tingle?
Yeah, women tingle.
Don't mistake that tingle for love and affection, because financially in this time here, it is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could quickly, that love and affection could turn into depression and hate. So know that when you're doing the big people thing, as Nikki said, be responsible. Trust me on that one.
Yep. All right, thank you, Jaiga.
It's $22,614 a semester for school, eh? And that's the smallest you could get right now. That's like
Yeah.
What?
You reach all there?
What?
That's the booklets for standard 3 years pressure. So
yes, that's morning earlier. $22,688.
Yeah, pressure. You can't get the book. Have a great one, Jaiga.
All right.
Mommy, buy the boy paint brush
Oh, God, man.
and the paint, please.
He's up daddy a little bit.
Gosh, boy.
Oh, come.
The man now spend $1,300 in school books. So go on,
And uniform.
Paint brush and paint, man.
Okay, guys. So the moral of the story this morning: let's work together for the kids.
Work together
for the kids. They come first. They come first. Were you moving around?
What's that?
Jaiga, you moving around?
Nah, you ready. All right, Tony, have a blessed one.